The first thing I'm going to do to make my collection jar is I am going to outline my pencil. If I look at a real jar, I notice that there are these lines, which is where the cap attaches to the top of the jar. And the open part of the jar, it almost looks like an oval shape from the side. So I'm going to create a line here. That's going to be the open part of the jar. And then I'm going to create some lines that kind of attach to these little bumps on the side. All right. Now I'm going to create my collage. There are a lot of materials that are on your tray that you're going to get to use in your collection jar. So I'm going to find a piece that I want to add. Let's say I want to add this. I can use a regular pair of scissors to cut it into a new shape. I could cut it into two shapes and then I can have two sparkly bits. I could even use a different pair of scissors, one of these scissors that has the interesting edges, and I could cut a piece of paper with those. Okay, let's say I want to use this. When I'm ready to glue in pieces to my collection jar, I want to start them down at the bottom, just like they would be falling in to a real jar. If I were to put something in here, it would fall to the bottom. Another tool you might try using today is the hole puncher. The hole puncher creates holes in paper, and all I need to do is take a fairly large piece, and I'm going to slide it into the alligator's mouth, and I'm going to squeeze on the handle, and then I get a hole. And then I could glue this into my collection jar as well. Okay, I'm ready to use my glue bottle. When I'm using a glue bottle, it's going to be closed when I get it, so I need to pinch and twist to open the lid. Sometimes there's a little bit of dry glue on the top, so I can pick the top to make sure that it can open. And if I can hear my glue bottle breathing, that's when I know that I'm ready to glue. I'm going to flip it upside down and let all the glue flow down through the bottle into the lid. And I'm going to practice making dots today. Dot, dot, not a lot. For my small pieces, I only need one dot. For my larger pieces, I might need more than one dot. I think I'll probably need 3 or 4 for this one. Okay, let's see what else I have in here. Ooh, I have this interesting shape, and this is made out of foam. If you like the shape that you find, you could leave it the way it is, or you could use your scissors to cut it in a different way. Add it to the bottom of your jar. The smaller pieces that you use, the more you'll be able to fit onto your piece of art. I could cut paper, or I could even try to tear a piece. This is an old book from the library. your jar starts getting full of papers of all kinds of different shapes, you then may go visit the texture buffet. The texture buffet is full of materials that have texture. So I'm going to pick out a feather to add to my collection. I've got some buttons and pom-poms. And I have some different little letters that I could add. You can try to peel off the little backing and it leaves a sticky side behind, but sometimes it's kind of hard, so sometimes I just put glue on the back and just glue them on. So you can peel it off or you could glue it on. I'm going to overlap right here. I'm going to put a dot here. And for my feather, I'm just going to put a few dots down on my paper and let my feather stick that way. I like to put the glue down on my paper and then drop the buttons on top. And since this one's white, I think I'm going to do this one on top of a orange piece.